What is up, everybody? Simon Khalil here. Thank you for joining me today. Let's get into starting a photography business. Whether it's a side hustle, whether it's going to be your full time gig, let's get into the essentials that you need to start a photography business. I get a lot of questions about hey, how do I start? Where do I begin? The tools that I may need, the contacts that I may need. How do we get this started? Well, here's just a few tips about how to get started. And obviously, the most obvious thing, number one, get yourself a camera. Now, I'm a Sony shooter, and I've been a Sony shooter for about 4 years now. There are many, many cameras on the market. You're just going to have to figure out what you are comfortable with, what you like in a camera, what your goals are over time. Now, some of these cameras, yes, they may be high end, they may be low end. It doesn't really matter when you're starting off. But I'd like to say if you're spending between $700 and $1,000 across any brand of camera, whether it's Canon, Sony, Nikon, Fuji, any of those brands, if you're in between that $700 to $1,000 mark when it comes to cameras this day and age, you'll be just fine with whatever you pick up. There are used cameras also. For example, I just sold my A7 III for a good amount of money, but I've been seeing them on sale other places like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, even B&H or Adorama for like $1,000. So if you get a camera like that, obviously it's a steal, and then you can help grow with that camera, and that camera can grow with you. But I wouldn't necessarily get into a very high end camera yet until you actually understand the dynamics and how the camera that you have in hand actually works. Number two, software. How are you going to edit the shots that you take? I tend to use Adobe, whether it's their Photoshop or Lightroom suite. Now, I've been using these programs for quite a bit, some time, for several years at this particular point. Now, with Lightroom specifically, it's a great tool to use, especially when you're taking so many images. Culling through is not really uh, the fun part of the gig, but Adobe Lightroom does, you know, make it a little bit easier to cull through, and as you gain more business or maybe even shoot weddings down the line, there are other programs for easy culling when it comes to actually sifting through those images and getting all the right images for your client. But Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop, I tend to use Photoshop for certain things, not too many things, but only for certain edits that I use Photoshop for. When it comes to light editing, such as exposures, contrasts, highlights, shadows, I use Lightroom for those specific items, and I do have my own Lightroom presets, which I will be releasing in the next several weeks, and I'll make sure that I attach this to the bottom of this video. But when it comes down to it, it's all about getting comfortable with the software you're using. It doesn't have to be Lightroom, guys. I just like to. I just been using Lightroom for several years now, so I'm very used to it. There are options like Capture One. I've used Capture One. I think it's a magnificent product specifically for portrait photographers. Culling through, honestly, is not the easiest. So I do tend to use it for portraits, but not necessarily for anything else or where I'm doing high volume of shooting. But when it comes down to it, again, just like the camera, get the software that you're looking for. On a subscription basis, Adobe has it. It's actually relatively affordable at this particular point. So I definitely recommend getting the suite of Adobe Lightroom with Photoshop. That way you could elevate your skills. Number three, honestly, guys, a website. A website's going to make you stand out. A website's going to make you actually look professional. It's not just your Instagram or your Facebook page or your TikTok page. All those are great, but they all should lead to the website. And the website, such as Squarespace that I use, it helps you with bookings, helps you with payments. I literally do everything through the website. I send out contracts. I collect the customer data. Then I am able to advertise to them, which is absolutely fantastic. When it comes down to it, a website is extremely important, and I will definitely put up here the video about creating a website and how essential it is actually having a website when it comes down to looking professional and sending portfolios out. That way you could build a portfolio and really get all the clients that you're looking for by just simply having a website and making you look that more professional. What you are going to want to look into is a photo delivery product. For example, I use Pic-Time. Pic-Time, such as Honeybook, I believe, and Pixieset, they deliver an actual gallery to the client of the photos that you've taken. It's better than using a Dropbox or Google Links to send over those final images. This way, you send the final images in a gallery. It looks extremely professional. It looks very well made. It's actually very simple to use, where there's just templates that you get to select. You get to select how you want them to download these images. And it's also great for proofs. I actually send my portrait photography clients a link from Pic-Time, so that way they can actually select the proofs that they would like, or select the image that they would like, and I actually have my signature right above the image, so that way there's no threat of stealing those images as well. Another great tool that Pic-Time actually has embedded is selecting the images for, let's say, a wedding album. I actually have my clients go through and select which images that they want for their album. I know exactly which images that they want now. I know exactly what images that they're looking for to be in a wedding album. And it's a great way to stay in communication with the clients. Also, with Pic-Time, you can download all the images. You could sell prints. This is another way to monetize yourself. You could sell prints right from the site. You don't have to do anything except for making sure that everything is set up correctly in the backends for you to accept payments, for you to accept selling your prints. And there's multiple ways you could do this strictly on Pic-Time alone. So yes, there's plenty of other softwares out there. For me, Pic-Time, I've been using for the past 5 years, has been an excellent tool. And honestly, guys, last but not least, business cards. Your business cards are still extremely important nowadays. I actually receive a majority of my business from handing these bad boys out. Perfect example, I was out shooting one day out in Long Island. I actually didn't have a business card on me, which was my fault. It's my bad. Understood. Luckily, I did have a digital business card, which all they had to do was scan with their phone. But that physical connection between you and the client is extremely important. This is something tangible. Obviously, I messed up and I didn't have a business card on me, but I was still able to share my information, and hopefully something comes out of it. But on a wedding day or on a portrait shoot, people are watching what you're doing. You never know who's going to get married. You never know who's graduating. You never know who has a sweet 16. You never know who has portraits that they want to take for themselves or a portfolio that they need to build up. As long as you have one of these guys on you, if someone asks you for a business card, boom, there it is. That's it. There's no exchanging phone numbers. Hey, look up my Instagram, or you could DM me or anything like that. No, everything is on here. Everything, and I mean everything. My email address, my Instagram, my Facebook page, my phone number, my website. Everything's on here. So you can actually select multiple ways of communication when it comes to the business card. This also helps you when you have a website. This also helps you when you have other means of showing your galleries and product and portfolio. Now, I use moo.com. Moo.com allows you to put several images on the actual card, or you can get individual images on a select few cards and then order them that way. This has been extremely helpful for me. Business cards, I feel, are still essential this day and age, and I don't see it going anywhere for a while. Yes, digital's great, but digital is not tangible. Realistically, a lot of people, they want to see something tangible. That's why there's still ads out there. That's why there's still other means of advertisement and marketing. So, other than that, guys, those were my essentials that I think will help you skyrocket a photography business, especially coming from scratch. But please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you go about your processes and what you use. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to this channel. I appreciate y'all very much. Hit that notification bell so that way you notified every time I drop a video like this. And hopefully this is helpful to you and starting your business. Other than that, guys, deuces. Peace.